subsidy is gone.
Fuel is almost 2,000 naira. And people are still calling the president master strategist. Master strategies in what? People are clapping. Fuel is almost 2,000. They are sharing rice.
If Tinubu is removing subsidy, that's what Atiku will do. That's what Peter Obi will do. That's what Obasanjo will do. The only person among those who rule this country who has some slight different philosophical ideas is Umaru Musa Yar'Adua.
Is this how to remove fuel subsidy? Where's all the money that was saved from removal of fuel subsidy? They are not doing anything. Show me one governor in Nigeria today that can justify 0.05% of what they have earned.
The choices we have is between the Satan and the devil. Peter Obi, Obasanjo, Atiku, and Tinubu. So these are people who come from the same ideological perspective. If Obi becomes the president of Nigeria today, nothing changes, everything remains the same. Because they all believe and they all subscribe to the same political thinking.
Hold on,
distinguish.
distinguish. The only political party that can rescue power away from Tinubu and APC is ADC. If it is true that you are the real Jagaban, as people claim, if it is true that you are the master strategist, why are you scared of the opposition? You are called Jagaban. Jagaban is somebody that is above everybody. INEC belong to you. Army belong to you. CBN belong to you. City boys belong to you. Every city girls belong to you. You have 32 governors. Or let's even say 36 governors, because Alex Oti is working for him. Almost all the governors are working for him. You have
so let's say this. Can you confirm this?
Hold on. I don't need any confirmation, please. We have gone beyond this stage of pretending on TV and...
So you are saying that Oti is working for Tinubu?
Oti knows Oti is working for Tinubu.
Welcome to the Honest Bunch podcast. I am super excited. If no be say me self, no say my voice, not really be singing voice, I for dedicate one special song. We are great. God, we thank you for what you do for us. We see all that you do. Our viewers, we appreciate you for the time that you dedicate to enjoying what we curate. God, we bless you. As soon as they take time to enjoy what they do, we'll continue to make impact because now waiting we pledge. Ladies and gentlemen, information that can help you. Beginning first with CD Care. If you want to buy your gadgets, if you want to buy your appliances, don't stress yourself. Why? Because CD Care there for you. Then get package where be say you go they pay small. As you they pay small, midpoint of your installment, they go carry the package, can give you in the perfect condition. So why you dey stress yourself, say, I want go market where you go spend transport. I want go market where you go exert your energy to move from one store to the other. You can't begin the price anyhow. If you don't go the app, you just waka your waka, no stress at all, and everything is settled. And then go give you the same price when we say you go get them if you go market. So why stress yourself? CD Care. We CD Care. We appreciate you. Take advantage of this love by CD Care. Ladies and gentlemen, everyone deserves to own a piece of the earth. But make the earth not just day like that. Now, why Resida through land banking don't come with package when go ensure, say, that's your small deposit where you drop. The thing go bring plenty money for you. How do I mean? When you make this deposit payment, you go through the process. They don't sort them. You don't get land. Now, then get experts when go cultivate this land. So that one means say, whether you score A for agriculture or you score F for agriculture, that one no concern you. Then go they cultivate the land and you go they make money. So that 150K where you go pay as deposit, where you get before where you just think, say, may I just spend this money anyhow. You don't invest them in something when go bring you solid future. And then they cultivate that land. You don't need to think, say, what did they use this land do? So long as your own money they enter. What are you waiting for? Go the Resida way and have no issues at all. On the Honest Bunch today, we are joined by distinguished personalities. They are patriots who love our great country, Nigeria, and would go the whole 9 yards to even sacrifice for our country. For those who be Gen Z, I go like beguna, make una watch this episode reach the end, because it get people when be say, they don't make plenty sacrifices for the democracy when una, as young people, they enjoy today. Ladies and gentlemen, a man who represented his people to the T and went all out for them. Distinguished Senator Shehu Sani. A round of applause for him, please. You're welcome, distinguished Senator. We're so happy to have you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bob.
Now, our other guest is a man who, if you say problem day, he go say no problem. because you know they run from problem. He get the point where problem follow am reach. Problem come call and come the advice am say, distinguished, calm down. He said, no, I'm a comrade. I will never run away so long as it is in the interest of the people. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together as we welcome a legal luminary. Yes. Now in condition, make him go study law because he believes say we suppose they guard our law and ensure say everything when the people expect from them then get. Comrade Deji Adeyanju, a round of applause, please.
Thank you so much for having me once again on the show.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. Let me also add senior comrade to distinguished Senator Shehu Sani.
Indeed.
Because
it's a pleasure to see senior comrade.
Yes, thank you so much. So, distinguished Senator and comrade Deji Adeyanju, we're going to delve straight into the conversation, but I would like for you to just watch a video. And when we play this video, we'll come back.
The effort of the Buhari administration on infrastructure development there, and know how many railroad and water construction of fuel subsidy. Unfortunate, the budget that I've glimpsed before I assumed office and what I've heard is that no provision is there for fuel subsidy. The fuel subsidy is gone.
So, there are Nigerians who claim that the hardship that Nigerians are experiencing today is tied to this declaration in his inaugural address by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And I would like to ask a straightforward question. 3 years into his administration, do you still support the removal of fuel subsidy?
Who are you asking, me or Deji?
Comrade.
Okay.
Removal of fuel subsidy.
Do you still, 3 years into his administration?
How can any Nigerian with a brain say he supports removal of fuel subsidy 3 years into Buhari administration? How can anybody say so? Do you support it?
3 years into Tinubu's administration.
3 years into Tinubu administration, do you support the removal of subsidy? Is this how to remove fuel subsidy?
Comrade Deji.
The people that they claim that they were not subsidizing the poor. The fuel was cheaper. Fuel was way cheaper. Now, after the removal of fuel subsidy, where's all the money that was saved from removal of fuel subsidy? The president, is it not subsidized? Now, today in Nigeria, is it not the governors that they are subsidizing? Is it not Akpabio? Can you not see how fresh and big Akpabio or bigger Akpabio's stomach has become? Can you not see how big all the governors' tummies have become or how long their convoys have become? Is it not better to subsidize the economy and subsidize ordinary Nigerians, subsidize the infrastructure, subsidize the industries, the factories in Inewi, the factories in Kano? Is it not better to subsidize small and medium-scale businesses than to be subsidizing the Akpabios of this world? The governors in today's Nigeria, they are earning 10 times what they used to earn before this administration came into power. Show me one governor in Nigeria today that can justify 0.05% of what they have earned in the last 3 years. Just one. Show me one. Look at when these governors were earning less than $1 billion. We had the likes of Olusegun Mimiko in Ondo, built mega schools all across Ondo State, did free education all across Ondo State. They were not only were they doing free education all across Ondo State, built uncountable roads all across Ondo State. They were earning under $1 billion. Under $1 billion. Today, there are some states that are earning 30 billion in a month. They are not doing anything. Aside that, in that same Ondo State, I have been there. They were doing free healthcare in Ondo. They had shuttle buses that take students to school every day for the entire 8-year period that he was governor. Free. Free. So, what are we talking about? The president should bring back fuel subsidy because the economy is suffering. If you bring back fuel subsidy today, fuel will go down. And you know that Nigeria is not a producing economy. Majority of everything we do in Nigeria, including transportation to come to this studio, is tied to petrol. So if fuel prices come down, it will improve our economy. But if the fuel prices are high, The only people benefiting will be the governors and the akpabios of this world.
All
Comrade
right,
Deji.
distinguished senator.
Sorry, I wanted to follow up with that. And Your Excellency, distinguished senator, if I remember clearly, President Olusegun Obasanjo in the early 2000s attempted but was unsuccessful in the removal of the same subsidy. Peter Obi, His Excellency, and His Excellency Atiku Abubakar, all in their campaign manifestos, said the first thing they will remove is this same subsidy. So how come Tinubu, doing what everybody else promised and what everybody else tried, is now seen as the bad guy? Please, Your Excellency.
Thank you for having me in your program for the first time.
Welcome.
Well, as an activist before becoming a politician, we spend the most part of our lives defending the need for the state to subsidize petroleum products. We have gone to protest for it, and we have defended that very idea and economic formula on the basis that when petroleum subsidies are enforced, it will make it affordable for the masses of our people and for the peasantry to be able to afford the basics of life. The very time you pull out subsidy, people now have to pay the price for whatever they're going to purchase. Now, at a certain time, questions are asked. If Nigeria, a nation that is blessed with petroleum resources and other resources, if we can have such enormous mineral resources beneath our soil, and we're still suffering, so what if we don't have? What becomes of us? Ghana don't have what we have. Cote d'Ivoire, Togo, Benin Republic. Why should a nation that is so blessed have its people suffering? I've been to Kuwait, I've been to Qatar, I've been to Saudi Arabia, and many of these Gulf producing countries. You will start wondering whether our oil is different. But now you also look at this side of it. The Obasanjo administration and the political opposition lords like Peter Obi and Atiku, all of these people, including Tinubu, they share the same philosophical and ideological perspective of life. When people in social media and public commentators are making their views known, you will see how bereft they are of knowing even the kind of people they are supporting. What is removal of subsidy? These are all capitalist ingredients. These are new liberal economic formulas. Peter Obi, Obasanjo, Atiku, and Tinubu all believe in the Bretton Woods institution. They believe in IMF, they believe in World Bank, they believe in free market, they believe in limited intervention of state, they believe in private property. So these are people who come from the same ideological perspective. So when I see people saying this person is different from that person is different from this person, is they don't sit down and look at what do these people believe in. Nigeria's differences, the political difference in Nigeria, is not between a Marxist-Leninist and one who subscribed to liberal neo-economic capitalist ideas. They are all from the same class. The difference between those who are in power and those who are opposing those in power is that the team A of the political ruling bourgeoisie elite are in power, and team B and the opposition. We, our parents, come from the NEPU, PRP, Aminu Kano political ideology, northern part of Nigeria. And our orientation is socialist tilting, Marxist tilting, and this is the ideas we have. But Nigeria's political form is devoid of all these things here. If Tinubu is removing subsidy, that's what Atiku will do. That's what Peter Obi will do. That's what Obasanjo will do. The only person among those who rule this country who has some slight different philosophical ideas is Umaru Musa Yar'Adua. And that is why you see his application and his art of governance differs from all of them, though it's short-lived. So whoever you elect into position of office and authority, he's still going to subscribe to those institutions and then also be subservient to the United States. That's why you see, you have a government here who has contracted its tax program to France. You have a government here who also has invited the United States for security arrangement. But you also have an opposition who is paying a US-based consultant. So you are moving from Sodom to Gomorrah because you are all within a certain angle. You are not moving from one place to another. So to me, I have always seen that confusion. When we were in the school in our days, we debate with each other on the basis of our own ideological thoughts. This is where you belong and this is where I belong. But you will see a typical young Nigerian in support of Traore of Burkina Faso.
Absolutely.
Support of Traore, and he's also supporting United States, supporting Trump. You will see a typical young Nigerian supporting Traore, who is a military ruler, and is also accusing others of dictatorship. While all that the military regime in Burkina Faso, in Mali, in Niger, are all antithetical to everything that he loves in his country. So we don't know, and I can't blame them for that. In 1982-83, I visited a room in Ahmadu Bello University in the campus. When you go there, the posters you see around there is that of Mandela, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Stephen Biko. You understand? Kwame Nkrumah.
And a lot of
all those things.
writings.
Yeah. Yes. And then you can see a typical students of the 70s and 80s being able to paraphrase the quotations of Mao Zedong, Deng Xiaoping, Ho Chi Minh, Karl Marx. Even those who are on the capitalist side, you see them making quotations for Adam Smith and others. But you go here now, it is Ronaldo, it is Messi, it is
Pella.
It is entertainers. So you see, it is what you have in your brain that you discuss or post on social media. So we still don't know, or we're still being confused that these political elites are all one family. Their biggest threat is not you have Tinubu versus Shawari, who thinks different. You haven't Tinubu versus Atiku, who believes in what Tinubu believes in, and Peter Obi, who believes in what Tinubu believes in. I mean, all of it. This is what you have.
So are you saying, are you saying, if I got you correctly, that Nigerians are just being fanatic and they are victimizing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu?
I didn't say that. What I'm saying is that there is ideological ignorance of the kind of people whom you're fighting, whom you are supporting or you're fighting. For example, now, you have some leaders who are on the street. Nigeria is not about APC and ADC. There is AAC, there is SDP, and there are other political parties. If you tell these people here, are you looking for a younger person to contest election? You say yes. Then you say, sure, they say no, he's not serious.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Okay.
You say, he's not a serious person. Well, you can vote for him to be president of your country. You don't want him until when you're in trouble. You want him to protest, you want him to defend right, but when it comes to get him into power, you said no. You prefer the buffet that has member of the team A of the ruling class and member of team B. And then you start going round about and not solving problems. Hold on. You cannot look at me and talk to your conscience and look at the leaders of those who call themselves the opposition and ask yourself if these people are messiahs.
Yeah, but
Senator,
that's the same thing. That's the same thing I'm saying. Because if you say,
let me ask you, I have not finished yet.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
allow me to answer my question.
Okay.
I schooled in Niger State. I did sciences and government science college, Kagara. We are one of the students who usually lined up on the street with a flag to welcome David Mark when he was the governor of our state, in that state in 1983. And I found him. We were sitting down together with him in the Senate as colleagues. He was a governor and I was a student. And now we found ourselves in the Senate. And then you look at a Gen Z, you look at such persons and said, these are the people who will take you to the promised land. I said, okay, these people have held all positions of authority and power. I was only able to become a senator for 4 years. And I wish to see young people now not just becoming perpetually domiciling themselves in the comment section of people in power. You go and register into a political party, pick up the ticket, contest election, and change the Nigeria of the dream. But you sit down and you divide yourself. These ones are supporters of ruling party, and these ones are opposers of those who were in power yesterday. And how do you change a country in that direction?
So, but what
Your
is the
Excellency,
possibility of
hold on. Your
considering the
Excellency, I want to bring Deji in on this. So I'll paraphrase what you said, Your Excellency.
Well, he hasn't answered
No, he
the
hasn't
question.
answered. Yeah,
No, wait.
Daddy Freeze.
See, let's build gradually. The first question we asked was, after nearly 3 years in office, do you
That is what I want to ask, but I want
Deji,
to...
No, wait. Comrade Deji was clear with his answer. I would want the distinguished senator to answer if...
On subsidy.
Yes, after nearly 3 years in office, do you still support President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's removal of fuel subsidy?
Then I ask my question. Yes, sir.
Well, I cannot answer you on A and B, but I have to make some clarification before I do that. I am trying to know who are the beneficiaries of subsidy, because I've been fighting, defending that subsidy. I have not had anybody who come to TV and say he's the one who is giving the money for subsidy. Please, if you have the name of one person.
I benefit from removal of first.
From
From subsidizing petrol.
Not benefiting. Who is receiving the money?
Charge of the money?
For instance, now, if you had...
Not instance. I want the name of the person who collects
me,
money.
Okay, so
Deji
Your
Adeyanju.
Excellency, just give us a yes or no answer.
Hold on.
Your Excellency.
It's not benefiting.
He's,
I'm asking you that if you say you are paying subsidy,
Who is it being paid to?
Yes.
who is being paid to? Because I know as a country that is so blessed with resources, we have the capacity, we have the resources to make our people's life better with the resources we have. But when you have middlemen who come from nowhere without names, that money is paid to them. I want to know the name of the person. That's
But
all I
who
said.
is, somebody is paying them. So this question should be directed to the person
The
who
government,
makes the payment.
NNPC has a list of
Yes.
all the
Okay.
beneficiaries of
Because
first
you-
subsidy.
Now-
Can you help me with the name?
No. So this is what we are saying. The
What are you
government,
saying?
The government says we can no longer we are not paying subsidy, and I think that from your statement, what I deduce is that there are people who benefit that we do not know of. But if there are people who benefit that we do not know of, but there is somebody who used to pay them, who was the person paying,
In
and
fact-
where
in
was
fact-
the money coming from?
in fact-
That's the question we should ask.
In fact, let me help you.
Let me
Before you ask.
What I'm saying is that
People have been prosecuted in this country for subsidy fraud.
Yes.
There are a lot of people. And now,
Somebody went to jail for it.
Of course, these are people that they say they allegedly claim they cooked up figures, they were not supplying products.
Yes.
People were prosecuted. People have been, I think one person has been convicted.
Yes.
So the beneficiaries of subsidies are known. NNPC has a list of all of them. My own issue, why I said I'm against the removal of first subsidy by President Tinubu, and I was very clear about me saying that the president should bring back the subsidy, because all the monies that have been saved, we have not seen it. The new tax regime, all the money they are going to collect with this tax, they are also going to steal it. Just like the way they stole all the money that they've saved from first subsidy removal. I have never seen a nation where they give thieves, armed robbers, money to keep, except only in Nigeria. We have all been saying before the removal of first subsidy, we have been saying that these governors are thieves. They are not accountable, that they are Lord Lugars in their states. We say even the money that they are giving, they don't account for it. They're not doing any project with it. This president came and said, let's give them more money so that they can have more to steal, so that they can buy more long convoys. So these are the issues. Even if you say you want to see the beneficiary of first subsidy, if fuel is cheaper for the country, is it not better than when fuel is over 1,000 Fuel is almost 2,000 naira. And people are still calling the president master strategist. Master strategist in what?
Comrade
In what?
Deji.
People are clapping. Fuel is almost 2,000. They are sharing rice. They say the solution is rice. All the geopolitical zone in Nigeria, they share rice. And fuel is almost 2,000 naira.
Comrade
Okay,
Deji,
so, like-
there was something that I was saying, and I asked the distinguished senator. I said, Obasanjo, Atiku, Obi, and Tinubu all have the same philosophy with regards to the subsidy.
Correct.
So if we are changing our leaders based on subsidy, we are moving from grave to grave without leaving the cemetery.
Indeed.
In your opinion, using fuel subsidy as a benchmark, ADCO, APCO, are they not all the same thing?
They are all the same thing. But let me tell you why.
AAC.
Yeah, no. AAC is ideological. But again, AAC does not stand any chance in challenging Tinubu. That's why I don't agree with anybody that is saying, oh, there are other political parties. The president is not trying to enforce one party state by deregistering
But you say you
ADC.
vote your
Hold on,
vote. You'll
hold on.
waste your vote
Hold on,
with-
distinguished.
Yeah.
That's why anybody saying that is working for Tinubu. And my explanation is very simple. Today, as currently constituted, this country today, the only political party that can rescue power away from Tinubu and APC is ADC. And any attempt to deregister them, annihilate them, means that the president wants to go unopposed in the election.
But my question is philosophically, they are the same.
Hold, I'm going to hit the nail on the head. Now, having said that, the only political party that can challenge, and I don't support them, and everybody knows. In fact, the people in ADC, they hate me as much as the people in APC hate me. But I'm not bothered because
Who do you support?
I support nobody. I like Showore, but even him, I'm not supporting him. But I may vote for him on election day. May. You see, I use the word may, and I may not even go home because if by what I'm saying, the amupitanizing of INEC, if going by what I'm saying and the handwriting, I may not even leave my house. I may not even leave my house to vote. And because the reason why I say I may not leave my house to vote is because, see, we have gone beyond that level of all this kalo politics that they are doing. This is Amala politics that is being played in the country. How can you are called Jagaban? Jagaban is somebody that is above everybody. This time around, there's no Emefiele that will do Naira redesign against you. You are the person who is in the power. INEC belong to you. Army belong to you. CBN belong to you. Almost everything belong to you. City boys belong to you. Every city girls belong to you. You understand? Almost everything belong to you. You have 32 governors. Or let's even say 36 governors because LSOT is working for him. Almost all the governors are working for him. You have
So said this. Can you confirm this?
Hold on. I don't need any confirmation, please. We have gone beyond this stage of pretending on TV and...
So you are saying that OT is working for Tinubu?
OT knows OT is working for Tinubu. All these governors are working for you. Why are you scared of ADC? Why are you scared of the opposition? If it is true that you are the real Jagaban, as people claim, if it is true that you are the master strategist, why are you scared of the opposition? Why can't you allow the opposition to aggregate their interest? Why do you want to behave like Abacha? The last time we had this kind of scenario was when Abacha went unopposed. You remember Abacha wanted to contest against himself. I've never seen this kind of level of political psychophancy and twerking for a sitting president like we are currently seeing. This is the first time where non-state actors, anti-democratic elements within and around the government will be doing everything humanly possible, including using the courts to try to prevent the main opposition party from contesting, from being on the ballot. This is anti-democratic. And anybody who does not condemn is an enemy of Nigeria. Because how can you live in a democracy? Even if we are not practicing democracy, let's pretend that we are practicing democracy. How can we say we are in a democracy? And in fact, the Akpabio Electoral Act that they rushed to pass was explicit that you cannot use ex parte injunction or interlocutory injunction. You cannot give an order restraining a political party. And that was what they did in that case. And this Amupita man rushed and delisted ADC from their website. How can you do that in a democracy? How can you do that? And anybody not condemning it is working for Tinubu.
Your Excellency, distinguished Senator, what do you have to say about this?
Specifically, I said so many things. Which one do you want me to talk about?
No, in response
In response to him.
Just to respond to him.
Yes, please.
To make it even better, I would like to quote Comrade Deji Adeyanju on this issue, and then I would get your response to it now. Comrade Deji Adeyanju in early April, shared this tweet, and I quote, "Buhari, who overthrew a democratically elected government, didn't kill opposition and democracy from 2015 to 2019. But ex-Nadeco activist does not want any opposition in the country. He wants to go unopposed in 2027. Tinubu will eventually burn down this country if he continues this way."
Okay. First of all, I have made it very clear to me that whatever you see happening today has happened in the history of Nigeria in the last 25 years. Whether it is the opposition denied a hold to organize a meeting, whether it is billboards being brought down, whether it is haunting opposition, whether it is doing all those things here. These are historical facts that have happened in almost all this period. And it's also not peculiar to Nigeria. We have seen how opposition figures in Tanzania are sent to jail, and Uganda, Bobby Wine is being forced out of the country. In Chad, he killed his own opposition. So it's something that has been happening. But the observation of Deji is very important. As Democrats, people, and as democracy that Nigeria should be, people should be given the right to express their opinion and organize themselves into political parties and vie for office. But if you look at it in historical terms, all those figures who are today benefiting, because for me, I wear two caps as both an activist and a politician. And the positive side of Deji on my parent, why I always like him on my side is that if I'm troubled, he will come before even my family are there. So he has that history, him and Shori. So for them, we want views that are critical of people in government. Because if you don't have opposition, you stand the chances of sliding into a tyranny. You stand the chances as a nation of destroying the whole democratic process. So that is very important and very critical. Nobody who believes in democracy should ever subscribe to annihilating any opposition figure. So what he said is right in that sense. But what I'm emphasizing as a politician also and as an activist is that what are we replacing with what? Because if you have a roundabout, you keep on going round and round and round without taking the turn to anywhere, we will always be where we are. And for the fact that he said that those ones have no chances of removing Tinubu, who should vote? Is the people should vote. Why should the people not vote for Shawari when he can have his political party on the ballot and they recognize him? And if there is a mobilization on his side, he can become Nigeria's president. It happened with the president of Senegal. Macron never had a formal political party. He organizes a march and emerged the president of this country. So we shouldn't in any way submit to the fact that the choices we have is between the Satan and the devil. When there are good people who can provide alternative. If today Tinubu is removed out of power by the APC or by Atiku, you just remove Cardoso from CBN and bring Mochido from Adamawa.
Correct.
In CBN. You remove Edu and bring Chiroma from Gombe to take over that place. Nothing is going to change. The names will change. If Obi become the president of Nigeria today, if you remove Cardoso, you bring Eze to be there. And you remove Edu, you bring Chuku to be in that very place. Nothing changes, everything remains the same. Because they all believe and they all subscribe to the same political thinking. That's why, if you want to know Nigerian political class, whether they have difference or not, you meet them in a wedding ceremony or birthday ceremony, or you see them in a mosque or in a church. They're all friendly with each other. When my friend said here that he will not protest for any politician, he is not very far from the truth. I knew that the way politicians view things is different from the way an activist view things. I will give you a typical example. When Buhari died, if you ask the view of a typical activist, you say Buhari was brutal, his government was bad, he has done wrong, he has not been able to do anything for this country and whatever. But a politician will look at the votes around the ranks now. He may not have agreed with Buhari. And when he goes there, he will sing his praises. And he has a different agenda inside his mind in order to achieve something. There are things which you see in open, but sometimes they need interpretation. I have been in National Assembly. If a senator stands up to talk, I know what he's saying and I know where he's going to. You have an opposition in the National Assembly and a law will be brought in like the $6 billion loan request by the federal government. And then your own ADC senators and PDP senators and ADC members will not stand up in the chamber and oppose it. They will concur and then come to the social media and either post on their tweet or on their Facebook, and then you are okay with it. That they have done good, they are different. To me, I know it's all deception. Because if you have a $6 billion loan request that a voice vote has been brought in, and that you can stand up on the chamber and say, I am opposed to this. And then you come to your Facebook and you criticize it, and you go to the comment section and you see young people say, God bless you.
But distinguished senator, distinguished senator, the good thing is between 2015 and 2019, you were in the Senate.
Yes.
And we saw you on the floor of the Senate rise up to oppose, certain...
Of course.
Yes. But we all know how these things play out. Where even those who say I, the names we have it because it would appear like there's a set agenda already.
Let me tell you the difference between that. Though we are not, let's not divert from what we're talking about.
Okay.
I happen to be in the Senate from 2015 to 2019. And why did Saraki's Senate become different from all other Senate? Is the way the leadership emerged. If senators and members of reps were able to elect their own speaker and Senate president, then you will have an independent National Assembly. But when you have a president, and Buhari did that not because it was a mistake he did. He came to power 2015 and he was basking on the fact that he has taken over power and
did not play the politics.
Yes, and didn't play any politics and simply said, just like the way he has no courage to say, vote for this person, he will send somebody like the way he sent Abdullah Adamu to say, it's Ahmed Lawan that we want, not him coming out frontly. But here you have a president who was once a senator. And Obasanjo too was also conscious of that. That if you have a president you like or you don't like, and you are not concerned about the quality of people who are in the National Assembly, you will still be back to where you are. Saraki was different because the senators elected him. Dogara was different because the senator elected him. And for wherever a favor is done for one to be in office, you'll always remain subservient to the person who helped you to be there. And that's one of the bane of democracy in Nigeria here. You can't be anything except if you are blessed or coronated by somebody.
All right. So, Senator, I hear you.
So for me, I don't have to pay the price for it because my being able to stand up and oppose and criticize now cost me dearly.
Yes.
Yeah. So if Deji is going to the Senate,
I'm not going.
I'm coming.
God forbid.
If any person, if any activist, or not him, anybody is going to the National Assembly, and he now want to play the activist, the point is that it will be the people. You go to National Assembly and say there's so much corruption, there is this and that, and then you earn a suspension, and then you come back home. The people who are representing will say they didn't send you to go and fight.
The only two positions.
Yeah. So to me, I'm telling you that I was able to do that. And I went in, I came out. but I have to pay the price for it. So if any of you who wants to be there, wants to do that, when I disclose
The pay.
the pay for our legislators, it was an interview I was granting, and I was asked a question. And I said, what I know as a Nigerian is that this is what I receive as running cost and as salary. And it was published. And I got into trouble. It was Saraki and Ekwerimadu that stopped my suspension. And they were able to intervene because they knew that the civil society and people like these activists are all on my side. And any attempt for them to go to suspension, there are things that I have not disclosed that will. So what I disclosed was part of it, and I left it for others to disclose. But I lost the camaraderie relationship I had with many of them.
Your colleagues.
Colleagues, yes. Because for the period which I served, there were so many people that aren't talking to me. There were so many people who felt that I am there to cause trouble to them. And there are so many people who are happy that I didn't return back to that way, because it has been the tradition since 1999 that what you see, you just keep quiet. And I told them that I did not say that you are collecting 13.5 million. I just said, this is what I have received in my own alert. And I didn't mention your name. So if you say that it's only Shehu Sani that is receiving that amount of money and you are not, that is your own problem. So you, if you are there, you have a choice. Either to play by the rules and then keep on being there for 2 decades. Or you say something different and you pay the price for it. So this is it.
So number one, Showorek is the kind of ideal president that Nigeria deserves. Because ours is a country with torchlight, but we're living in darkness, walking in darkness. See, I have said it time and time again that Nigerians are the easiest people in the world to please. Nigerians are not asking for the kinetics. Nigerians don't want to go to the moon. They don't want to go to explore the galaxies. They don't want even the science fiction. They don't want... See, Nigerians don't even want 24 hours light. Who told you Nigerians want 24 hours light? Can they even afford 24 hours light? Do you know how much is light on band A? Do you know how much is light? Nigerians just want, when they come home at 8:30 in the night, put on the light so that they will not be sweating at night when they are sleeping. Then in the morning, that early morning, before they go to work, still leave the light till like 7 so that they can iron their clothes. After that, you can take the light, then relocate the light to where the factories are, the offices are. Then the night again, you bring back the light around 8:39. How can this be too much? That this is what we have been laboring since independence that we cannot achieve. Can you see how silly Nigerian politicians are? Nigerian politicians, they are the most evil set of politicians in the world. And that's why I don't have any regard for any of them. So you cannot even provide few hours of electricity. And when you hear the trillions, they are, okay, all this subsidy money that has been saved, why couldn't they just use it to give us 5,000 megawatts of electricity? If they said subsidy, we agree subsidy is a scam, is a fraud. Open a designated account. Don't give the subsidy money to these thieves in the states. Open a designated account and use this money in the last 3 years to give us 5,000 more electricity megawatts in the entire country. Would Nigerians not be singing, President? Nobody will need to sing on your mandate. He would even need to even print a campaign poster if he has given us 5,000. And you remember what this president said? That if he does not give electricity, that nobody should vote for him. Where is the electricity today?
But Obasanjo said the same thing.
Okay, so because Obasanjo said the same thing.
What I'm trying to say is, Comrade Deji, what is electricity in Nigeria is almost unsolvable.
No, how can anybody say electricity is unsolvable?
Since 1960.
It's like saying that putting on this light is unsolvable. Everybody has electricity around us, even Ghana.
Distinguished Senator.
I just came back from this Kagame's country. What's the name of that country? Rwanda. They don't bring light there in that small country.
Country smaller than Lagos.
That country is like Kogi State. They don't bring electricity there.
Small country, smaller than Lagos.
Of course, what we are talking about is that Nigeria has the resources. Look, go to Zamfara. They are mining gold on the main road. On the main road, they are mining gold. Are you telling me that, how can insecurity end in Zamfara? Insecurity can never end in Zamfara. Insecurity can never end in Sokoto. Insecurity can never end in Kogi and Kwara, where they have found gold. All these states And government know the people who are behind. They are politicians who are behind that gold mining in the country. So how can insecurity end? The amount of resources we have. That's why I said Nigeria is a nation with torchlight but working in darkness.
Are you saying the government knows those who are destroying the electrical, how do we generating?
Who are undermining
the money saved from first subsidy? Where is it? Why couldn't we use it to produce 5,000 megawatts? The money now they are gathering from tax regime. What are they going to use it to? You are going to give it to these governors again? They're going to steal the money again? So these are the issues. Secondly, this idea that, because Sowore is ideological. Sowore is my preferred, if I'm to go to vote in any election.
Same as me, I've said it.
I will vote for him. But because Sowore is ideological, okay, can Sowore match CBN vote if Tinubu opens it? Certainly not. Sowore does not even have money to pay his canvassers. Sowore will not even have enough money to pay his agent at the polling unit. We have almost 190,000 polling units in the country. So if you cannot give transport to your polling unit agent will work for the APC on the election day. They will work for the APC on the election day.
Can I come in now?
Yes, please.
Okay. There are three things I will say here. Are you talking of subsidy, no subsidy, whatever it is? We have oil in Niger Delta. And for the basic of sciences, you extract oil, take it to the refinery, and you refine it, and you have the petroleum products. So where do subsidies supposed to have come into this? If not, we deliberately kill down the refineries in order to import oil and to pay some people subsidy. What if you don't have the crude oil in your country? What will have become of us? These are questions people need to ask. The refineries in Nigeria are far younger than the refineries in the United States, France, and Canada. But ours is not working. There are refineries that are as old as 80, 90 years old in other countries and are still working. But where is our own now? So it is also a crime area. And what are the sources of electricity? You have solar, you have hydroelectric power, and God has blessed this country with it. And you still don't have light. Then you ask yourself, what if you don't have rivers? Saudi Arabia has no flowing river. Egypt has only one river. In Nigeria, there are 230 flowing rivers. And you don't have electricity. So whose problem it is?
Is it being sabotaged?
Hold on, let me tell you that. And then you come to ask question here. If you take this bottle of water, in Lagos it's for 200 naira. In Kano it's still 200 naira. So who is paying for the subsidy? Is it the government that is paying for the subsidy of transporting this water to Kano? We deliberately created our problems.
How?
Because people in government are all the same. Each time when people come into government, it is not addressing the problems of the country. Reforms are good. It's reforms that led to Indonesia where it is under Sukarno. It's reform that led to Malaysia under Mahathir Mohamad. It's reform that led to China where it is under Deng Xiaoping. It's reform that led to General Park to bring South Korea where it is today. It's reform that delivered Brazil to where it is today. It was economic reforms, but with result. If you are in government and you want to implement reform, and you say people should make sacrifices, the sacrifices should be seen in the lives of people who are also in power. If people who are in power are not making sacrifices, you have no right to tell the ordinary man to make sacrifices, because you can't be more patriotic than the other. We are all supposed to be patriotic. Now, a nation like ours, if you have, take for example, Kogi State, that has River Niger and River Benue that come into it. If there is no pipe-borne water in Lokoja, whose problem it is? It's not that of God. God has given this country everything that he has never even given holy lands. Some people, some countries depend on cotton, we can grow cotton here. Some countries depend on cocoa, we can grow cocoa here. Some countries depend on sesame and cashew, we can grow cashew here. Some countries are having problem with population, we don't have problem with population. all the minerals of this world, from gold to silver to lithium to uranium to whatever. This is a nation that is so blessed. And then, with everything we have, and we are still where we are today.
Whose fault is it?
What is the problem? Because people don't even know what their country is all about. Like now, you go outside and then an American or a British guy tells you, you come from a fraudulent country of corrupt people and whatever. But to me, there is no country that has made sacrifices for humanity like Nigeria. Before our independence, Nigeria was in Congo. We stabilized this country. Mm-hmm. After our independence, we were in Tanzania. We provided troops in Lebanon in 1978.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed.
Nigeria.
Peacekeeping.
Before our independence, Nigeria provided 45,000 troops to World War II. We helped free Europe from the hand of Nazi. Nigerians fought in East Africa. Nigerians fought in Burma. Nigerians fought in China. Nigerians fought in Germany. Lives of Nigerians were wasted. Put that aside. Come forward to 80s. Look at what we did in Liberia. Look at what we did in Sierra Leone. We were there under Colonel Olagunye Onilola. He was the head of UNISOM that brought peace to Somalia. We were in the forefront of the struggle against apartheid. Nigerian salaries, civil servants, part of their salary was cut to pay ANC to continue fighting. Mm-hmm. We gave scholarship to South Africans to come to Nigeria and study in Nigerian universities. We gave money to Mandela during the struggle. And then for all these things we have done, Nigeria has not been paid a dime. And then somebody somewhere will look at you and call you a nation of criminals, a nation of corrupt people. You have done nothing. There is no nation that has made such sacrifices in the whole of the world like Nigeria. But look at it. I'm not done with that yet.
Yes.
So what I'm saying is that we have a blessed country, but we have a cost leadership over the years, that we have not been able to have leaders that will be able to connect our resources with our present and with our future and with our prosperity. And this has been the problem we are facing.
Mm-hmm. But you see, distinguish, just as a response, it's not only, we don't have only a leadership problem in Nigeria, we also have a citizenship problem.
Absolutely.
Because you see, anyone who sits on the floor without getting up and is not moving can never move forward. Moving forward and motion, they are akin to one another. If you want to make progress as a nation, you must elect responsible leaders. Then, after electing responsible leaders, it also behoves on you that you must also have responsible citizens. It is responsible citizens that make leaders remain responsible. If not, the leaders will become irresponsible. Because when you have responsible citizens, they will be up and doing.
You'll be kept on their
as
toes.
Citizens. Because, and this is what we are saying about, and I'm making a passionate appeal to Mr. President today, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that you have all it takes to win second term. Anybody thinking that the president will not secure second term, you see, I'm one of those Nigerians that always tell myself the truth. The president will get second term, no matter how strong the opposition are, because the odds favor him. Even when Emefiele did Naira redesign, he still won. And Buhari was supporting Atiku in that election, and Tinubu still won the election. Is it now that Tinubu is in charge of INEC, that is Tinubu that's going to conduct the election, that Tinubu cannot lose an election that Tinubu will conduct? It's not possible. So, Mr. President, you have the responsibility as not just the president and commander-in-chief of this country, but as a former NADECO activist, you have the responsibility to make sure the opposition does not die under your watch. You have the responsibility, Mr. President. And Mr. President, anybody telling you that you need to go unopposed in the next election, the person is your number one enemy and is the number one enemy of this country. Mr. President, you must allow opposition to thrive in this country. Because, and Mr. President, you are the master of opposition. You have opposed other governments. So why is it that when it is now your turn, you don't want to be opposed? And Mr. President, I refuse to believe that you are the one behind this idea to go unopposed in the next election. Because I remember vividly how you opposed President Obasanjo. You were almost like a lone voice then. You opposed Obasanjo to a standstill. You opposed Goodluck Jonathan. Even though you were not physically opposing Buhari, but many people have said you also opposed Buhari and you opposed some of his policy. Allow people to oppose you, Mr. President. The beauty of democracy is when people oppose you. It is only when people oppose you that you know whether you are doing the right thing or you are doing the wrong thing. The anti-democratic forces in and around your government, they will destroy your government. And the First Lady, Mrs. Oluremi Tinubu, ma, you must also be worried about the legacy of your husband. Because Abacha is not here, but people are talking about Abacha. Is it not a shame that people are comparing your husband with General Sani Abacha, somebody who gunned down Kudirat on the street? Is it not a shame? You should be the voice of reason to the president. When people like Wike they successfully killed PDP, you did not say anything, ma. Now they want to kill ADC using the instrumentality of the court, and people are justifying it. Just the way they killed PDP. So, if assuming without considering that they successfully kill ADC, what benefit or what gain will it be to the legacy of your husband? Will it not be a shame, ma, that it was during your husband's time that things like this, anti-democratic acts like this were done in this country? Just like people are referencing Abacha, and Abacha is a subject of ridicule. That's how President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration will become subject of ridicule in this country. Let it not be that when these things were going on, good men and men of conscience did not say anything. I have said it today and I will be vindicated. But you also have a responsibility and a duty to be vindicated that you spoke. We remember vividly that at certain times, Aisha Buhari was criticizing her husband. She had to come openly when she had tried to advise him and he was not listening. She came out on several occasions to address the press. Man, you have a duty. The anti-democratic forces around the government are embarrassing this president. With or without their help, the president is going to win second term.
Please, on behalf of people who are not politically oriented,
yes,
what is the possibility of Nigeria thriving without removal of subsidy?
Now, let me tell you the possibility. You see, when you say you don't remove subsidy, number one, you see, the market woman, the farmer that is moving the product from the farm to point A or B, you know they require fuel. The transportation of goods and services require fuel. The factories, even in Bejuleki here, they require fuel. And fuel, and because the nation does not have light, fuel is the engine upon which industries run. Even goods that are imported from China, they still need to transport them from point A to point B because we're a consumer nation. We are not producing. So fuel is one of the most basic ingredients of daily life of the people. So ours is a petrol-driven economy. So that petrol, if you wake up and it's at 700 naira, I don't know if you saw the Dangote, which is another person I have serious issues against in this country.
Why? What do you do?
The reason is because how can you allow one man determine the fate and destiny of a nation?
But the refineries were not working.
Okay, look at that refinery that was built for him. Look at that refinery that was built for him. Why should it?
Why would you say it was built for him? He built it himself.
Oh, okay.
Why that?
Let CBN vote also be open to me, and let them give me dollar the rate they were giving him, and see whether I will not build the refinery.
On subsidy, if you want to, you right now, let's go back to subsidy. I want to ask you this question.
Let him finish.
Yes. Right now, you want us to go back to subsidy at a time when the strait.
If we're not going, I'm not saying we must. If we're not going back to subsidy,
okay. So what's the solution?
Or if we're not going back to subsidy, take that money, put it in an account. We used to have it before. Now we used to have sovereign wealth fund before, where we domicile monies to save for rainy day. Put that money, don't give the money to any governor. Don't give it to my governor.
But can we do without it?
No, listen. Put that money into developing the nation. For instance, if you use that money to give us 5,000 megawatts, do you know what that will do to this?
But is there any money?
It will industrialize the nation.
Is there really any subsidy money? Because the argument was there's no money to borrow to subsidize.
If there was really no subsidy money, why were they budgeting for it? Why was money being taken from federation accounts to pay people if there was really no money? And lastly, if there was really no money, why are the governors not getting almost 10 times what they used to get if there was no subsidy money?
Your Excellency, do you want to say something on this?
Yeah, you see, we differ in perspective on this view. First of all, I still don't understand how a nation with such resources, and we have the resource to build refineries, all that it needs about this fuel is extract the crude oil, refine it, and sell it to your people. What are we subsidizing? We're subsidizing imported petroleum product. Where are we importing it? We're importing it from other countries whose refineries are working. So why should our refineries not work? That is my only question for it, which I can't get answers to. So if we can reactivate our refineries, we don't need to import and we don't need to subsidize anything. Because as long as we keep on importing everything, this is the trap which we are going to get ourselves locked into. About electricity, now, where is the fuel subsidy going? It's going to the states. And he's right. The president is receiving a serious bashing from the public because he has removed subsidy and the subsidy has been transferred to the states. They have more money than they ever had in the history of Nigeria. But what have they been using the money for? And if the subsidies money is now shared to the state and people are not feeling the impact, then it has defeated the very basic reason to which the subsidy was removed. Because it's not that the subsidy was removed and the money is thrown to Atlantic Ocean. They said they have shared it to all the states. The states are now budgeted in hundreds of billions and some even in trillions. But you go to the states, you still see they have problem of water. They have problem with electricity. They have problem of hospital. They have problem in schools. They have problem. Their primary schools are still there without chairs, without anything. So people have the right to ask questions. If people can visibly see that these resources that were removed are impacting on their lives, people will not have been calling back for the return of subsidy. So that is just my view on that.
And sir, also on this issue, you see, the Yoruba people, they have a popular proverb that when somebody says he wants to give you a new shirt, first look at the one he's wearing. Now, the reason why this proverb is very fundamental is that look at all the people that are likely going to be on the ballot in 2027. The three major contenders, or four, as the case may be: Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi, Kwankwaso. All these four.
Amechi.
Amechi, yes. All these five people. Tell me which of them was able to transform his state to Dubai, to a mini Dubai. These are scammers, professional scammers.
Deji.
Yes. It's me that is saying it, that they are professional scammers. But they are the...
Are you saying Atiku and Obi are scammers?
All of them. All these five people I've mentioned, they are professional scammers. And the reason why I say so is that because it's very easy to scam Nigerians.
How?
Nigerians are emotional people. That's why I told you earlier that Nigerians are the easiest people in the world to please. Because, for instance, there are 774 local governments in Nigeria. If you could not transform your state of 17 local government, 21 local government, you want to now transform in 8 years. These people, Atiku was vice president. There were no good roads to Adamawa. No good as vice president. Peter Obi was governor in Anambra. Yes, he's a glorified dustbin. When he was governor, I used to go there. Glorified dustbin. Look at Tinubu. The road leading to his house on Bodilon was bad when he was governor. Road leading to his house. Rotimi could not finish a monorail it's not even up to 1 kilometer monorail. Couldn't do it. Kwankwaso even tried because Kwankwaso was not really doing much project, but he was focused on human capital development. He was training doctors in India and some places, but him too, he was a failure by and large. So if we are to analytically talk about if Nigeria was like America, first world, then you can be bringing mediocres. But Nigerians are already used to mediocrity. And that is why Nigerians celebrate mediocrity a lot. When I see because if not for mediocrity, I saw during the Christmas, I think Alex Otti commissioned a water fountain in Abia State. People were jubilating on social media.
We know Kuku get them before now.
The yardstick was that, he's doing something because the former governor didn't do anything. The former governor, so they say, don't criticize this man. That's how low the standard has become. When you now ask, how much has he gotten in the last 3 years from the federation account? Because if you want to praise somebody, If you want to praise somebody, you have to just oppose it.
Sorry,
So
but
you are
is it-
also saying Alex Oti
but
is not
is it-
working.
Sorry, but you know that earlier you mentioned that governors' allowances or monies were raised.
Yes.
So when people say the allocation was raised, thank you, sir. So when people say Alex Oti, they've given him more money.
We are not talking about.
They're also giving. Sorry,
paradoxically, we're not talking about Alex. I don't want us to. I don't want this conversation.
Sorry, sir.
Yes,
sorry,
my governor has gotten money.
Sorry, Barrister Deji.
Yes.
I've heard this a couple of times when people say they've given Alex more money. By the way, he's getting more money.
Delta has gotten more.
Yes, but other
more
governors.
Money.
So other governors are getting more money too. But those other governors are not working. But
Okay,
this
okay,
one
okay.
is also
Comrade Deji, for clarity.
Okay,
a
yes.
one-eyed man is a king in the
Yes.
land of the blind.
You say-
So if
you
we
are
are in a place,
justifying-
if we are
you are
in a place,
justifying
what he's saying.
if we are in
Yes.
a point, sorry, sir, let me land. If we are in a place where other people that are also getting 10 talents are not doing anything with their talents, but somebody that also has a 10 talent is even using 5 to do something, why can you not say, okay, this person is even trying, than just
now.
take him and put him together with the other people?
I get your
clarity,
point. Yes,
Deji.
I get her point.
How much did Alex Oti, or how much has Alex Oti received from the Federation since he came into power?
I think that even the Accountant General's office has, at some point, they stopped releasing the figures.
They don't release the figures, not on the internet.
Before, they used to release the figures. But again, this is what we talk about accountability. Governors are not accountable. Should we not be able to get it at our fingerprint?
Sorry, you wanted to react to what I
Yes,
said.
I will react. Even if Alex Oti doesn't, even if the Accountant General is not releasing, should Alex Oti and other governors, like my governor and Lagos, should they not be making the figures available? Say, when you want to critique me, don't critique me by water fountain and this. Critique me
By what I have received.
Yes, critique me based on what I've received versus water
And how much
fountain.
I used
And let's
inside
just
Not just
oppose
water
it.
fountain, there
Yes.
are roads.
Oh, okay.
There are roads.
Okay, there are roads.
Good.
Okay, now let me ask you. You live in Lagos. I've said it severally that Lagos is a glorified village. People say, "Oh, Lagos is this. They have built a train. They built a blue line. They built." Come on. This is supposed to be one of the greatest city in the world, and Nigeria represents the black race. So this place is supposed to be a thing that brings everybody here. But that is not to say that nothing has been done. That's not what I'm saying. Because when you just oppose the resources that have been received vis-a-vis the work, you will crucify Nigerian leaders. You will hang them. You will hang Nigerian leaders. However, because if we are trying to say, let's compare states, I believe that the dancing governor guy has done more work than Oti.
Governor Adeleke.
Governor Adeleke has
Yes.
done more work than
Yes.
Alex Oti?
Yes.
Why?
Like-
How?
Now, let me tell you why I said so. I have seen he has commissioned 82-kilometer road. 82, not 3 kilometer. And he has commissioned several of such projects. But the only difference between the dancing man and Oti is that Oti has a lot of social media people that are promoting him, whether they are paid or not.
One
I
of
don't
them
know.
is in my DM.
Hold on. Whether they are in your DM, I don't know. But the other guy only attends parties
And dances.
and dances. So he's not taking propaganda serious. However, that's not to say that even by Adeleke's dancing model, he's still a colossal failure. By his dancing model. Because before you can adjudge someone, for instance, if there's a marking scheme in Nigerian law school, and the marking scheme says to score A, you must have 70 plus, and you score 40 and you are insisting that you must make an A. You see that you are a fraudulent guy. So this is where I fault Nigerians.
Okay.
So just to answer your question, this is where I fault Nigerians that I said the bar has been
Think we are
buried
settling.
beneath the bar has been buried beneath the ground.
I agree with you. So, you earlier mentioned about opposition. In the year 2015, heavyweights came up and formed the APC and pushed out Goodluck Jonathan. In this present time, the heavyweights, some heavyweights too, like Kwankwaso, like you mentioned, Atiku, are coming together again. Don't you think what happened in 2015 will happen again? This is for Senator.
For me,
Yes.
it will not happen.
Why?
Yeah, because the solidarity, the unity, and the support base of that creed of 2014 is not visible at this very time here. And I'm not just talking as an activist, I'm talking as someone who has once contested election. I was there. So when in 2013, 2014, Buhari is a rallying point, and there is virtually not much context between themselves. And there is also not much argument on who is going to be vice president or not, because he has that aura, that respectability, and the, whether it is phantom or real, the image of being a man of integrity. So everyone rallied around him, and he emerged, and there was not much controversy. And he had that fanatical support base in northern Nigeria, which no politician up to today, which Atiku does not have. You understand? The people in the north are so fanatical about him. They see him as a man of integrity who is poor, whom they can even pick their own resources. And he even gave an account number when the people who are selling suya and selling whatever, they were all contributing to him. There is nobody in northern Nigeria after Amin Kano that has that. So I have not seen that Buhari at this very time here. That's one. Secondly, and also Tinubu is not Jonathan in the sense that Jonathan did some three things which I don't think there's any president who will do. When he was constituting INEC, he called Buhari to submit nomination, who is his opponent, and Buhari did that. And when he was also contesting election, they brought him a machine, data that capturing whatever it is. He accepted it and ended up capturing him. And also Jonathan appointed an INEC chairman who I have never known, he has never met him, and he has never had activity with him in the person of Jega. And this is what became of him. So I don't think what Jonathan did, Tinubu will do it, Atiku will do it, Obi will do it, or any other person will do that. I don't think anybody will ever do such kind of things. So you can see from both sides. From the side of opposition, there is no coherent, congent, strong, virile, and potent opposition as we had in 2014 as of now. And there is also not that Jonathan that is in power today. So I do not think that this opposition is strong and viable enough to be able to eject, or dislodge this government that is in power. So I'm speaking from the technicalities which I have seen on the ground. And adding to that, you're talking of OT and others. For us in Kaduna State, Governor Obasani has been able to utilize the resources that has been sent to our state. When he came into office, the development in Kaduna was on our side, the Muslim House of Fulani side, where the southern Kaduna side were systematically marginalized and deprived of resources and development for 8 years. So when he came, he now run an exclusive government. He brought the Christian from southern Kaduna and extended projects, schools, hospitals, road to their place. Since 1999, the Christian in southern Kaduna has been voting for PDP. And that became the reason why they were systematically being targeted and treated like blacks in South Africa during the last government of Nasiru. But he was able to build bridges, reach out to them, brought them in, extend. For the first time, they decided to abandon the PDP and join the APC in Kaduna State. So they say politics is local. In our own case, we have seen application of resources to our own development. Roads and so many things are now going on, things we can see. We don't have that social media base like you have in southern part of Nigeria. And most of our people post in Hausa language in Facebook. And this is some of the reasons why you hear more from here than here from our own side of the. So I'm just making an addition to that. There are governors that are actually using the resources for the betterment of our people, their people. But for the fact that this money is not printed, it is as a result of the deprivation that comes with subsidy removal. People ought to have seen a better life and a better spectre of development in their own states.
Barrister Deji, I saw you shake your head.
Because I did not agree now. That's why I was shaking my head that I can distinguish senator. Now he's a politician. You see him campaigning for his governor. Because that can be the only justification. How can you say, is it not Kaduna that I just went? Look at the picture that distinguished senator has painted as if Kaduna has been transformed to a mini Dubai. Kaduna is still the old, dirty Kaduna, undeveloped Kaduna that we all know.
I don't think he is right in that aspect of it. Because where have you been in Kaduna?
Haba.
Tell me.
I go everywhere in Kaduna.
Everywhere. Mention
recently, I went to the southern Kaduna path. I went to first we went to Lere. From Lere, we went to Kachia. Yes, I've seen some
transformation,
some little roads that are not even properly paved, culverted. You understand, here and there. You know, when you pour asphalt on the road and just try to give it some sense, some semblance of.
He is saying that.
But again, I understand with distinguish.
You don't have to understand
distinguish me. is a comrade senator. You understand? So, and he must campaign. Any opportunity he gets, he will campaign. Because if he has this kind of opportunity and he doesn't campaign, I will also have questioned him.
No, however, at least you are campaigning for the dancing senator too.
No, God forbid. God forbid 3 times.
Comrade Deji, mention one governor in Nigeria that you think is doing well.
I don't think
that
there's
is
anyone.
okay, that is manageable.
I don't think there's anyone.
Any politician in Nigeria today.
Listen, I have, come on. That was just an analogy. An analogy. You see, I'm irritated when I come to Lagos. I'm always very irritated when I come to Lagos because I know the potential that Lagos has and what this town can be. Yes, I know that. Yes, I've seen some things on social media. What the Lagos State governor has done. He did a blue line, something blue line.
He's fixing Lake Yepe.
Please. Then again, I think I saw one school that was trending online. They were comparing it with a school in Abia or something. So I think the school looked very good or something like that. And then there's one hospital that was also trending. So I wouldn't deny totally that, there's no pet. When you look at how much these people are collecting, these guys deserve firing squad. If it was in China, these guys should be facing firing squad. All of them, with no exception, including the distinguished beloved governor.
No,
these guys should be facing firing squad. If it was in China, if it was in China, yes.
If there's anything I give to, sorry, before you answer, sir.
Wiki said they should shoot journalists. This one said they should shoot governors.
I didn't say they should shoot governors.
What did they do in firing squad?
No. I said if it was in China,
which is true.
No. I said if it was in China. You see, I never, because you see, a politician is trying to twist my word. I never said anybody should.
Let's not wikirize his statement. No, Barrister Deji Adeyanju, if there's anything I give to Peter Obi, it is accountability. Compared to everybody else.
No, wait, Daddy Freeze. The senator, there's this laughter from the senator. After you said accountability. And compared to everybody else. Somewhere. Let's start from there first. Senator, do you disagree that Mr. Peter Obi is not somebody who is accountable?
Well, I don't know anything about him, so I can't know whether he's accountable or
That's a political answer.
Yeah, because the law says a lot.
I said, you see, I'm in court with him, so I would not want to speak too much about him.
Okay.
But there's nothing accountable about that guy. He's just one of, I've rated all these 5 politicians, Tinubu, Atiku,
Yeah, you called all of them scams.
They are scammers, all of them. You see, but again, they are the people that fit Nigeria. They fit Nigeria.
Again.
And Nigeria also fits them. And no matter how you look at it, these guys, they know Nigeria. That's why they do the things they do. And they keep getting away with it. Look at it critically. This guy that you mentioned, this Obi guy that you mentioned, when he was governor, he kept his state's money in a bank that he had interest in, Fidelity Bank. And this was in billions and millions of money. Instead of using it to work for his people. If you keep money in a bank, domicile money in a bank, even my 7-year-old son knows that it is for interest. and to develop the bank. That's the person that you say wants to lead Nigeria. How is it different from Tinubu and the Alpha Beta something? Please, come on. Let's get serious, please, my brother.
Comrade
And
Deji.
you can't be mentioning his name accountability in the same.
Comrade Deji.
What
Yes.
the senator wanted to react.
Yeah, you wanted to react to
Yes. You see, I do not have evidence and empirical facts to impeach on the integrity of Peter Obi, but it is in the public domain in the way the finances of Anambra and the level of underdevelopment in that part of the country. You see, we have this belief that the North is poor and the South is rich. And as such, the poor people in the southern part of Nigeria are being crammed together with privileged and rich people, while people are also suffering in the southern part of Nigeria. And everyone has that belief. But my own issue that I have raised is for someone to look at Peter Obi and his ilk and think that these people are fundamentally different from those that are in power. When you know that everything Tinubu is doing today are things which the same people are going to do in their own campaign manifesto. The only difference you'll have, I tell you, if Adeleke is occupying a position today, if Atiku take over, it's going to be Galadima that will take over that position. And if it is Adeboye that is in position today and Peter Obi happens to be the president, it will be Chukwuemeka that will be put in that place there. So most of the people who are banding about in social media are supporting political leaders mostly on a tribal spectrum. When Buhari was in power, the North was quiet. Our people have been slaughtered. Our people have been kidnapped. Insecurity was everywhere.
Now the Yoruba people too are also keeping quiet. Now that their brother is in power.
Let me dawn on this. That you see that everyone kept quiet. When I was in the Senate, each time I stood up to speak about the killings of my people, the kidnapping of my people, the first attack against from northern senators. Why should we be embarrassing our own? Why should we be talking our own? A traditional ruler in Katsina was suspended for raising issue of insecurity under Buhari administration. So you are not allowed to say anything to criticize him simply because he is House of Flying like all of us here. The support for Peter Obi is tribal in most cases. Many of those who are supporting him are people who come from his ethnic background. This is the way Nigeria is structured. And in Tinubu case,
I slightly disagree
hold on. In a case that we have here, in the southwestern part of Nigeria, despite that you see a large chunk of people here supporting Tinubu, but you can give it a point that the southwestern part of Nigeria is an area where people can come out openly and voice out their opposition to their leader.
Correct.
When Obasanjo was the president of Nigeria, if you see any strike and protest, it is more stronger here in the southwestern part of Nigeria. When Abdullah was denied the presidency, the South was supposed to be at peace with Shonika, but they refused. They fought him. They also fought Obasanjo. And there are people still speaking out there. In all the regions of this country, whether it is southeast, southwest, southwest, there was a time militants were threatening anybody who is against Jonathan, that Jonathan must not refuse to contest election. This is what happened when Jonathan was in power. If Peter Obi becomes the president of Nigeria, the opposition is going to move to the north and the southwestern part of Nigeria. The opposition always move outside of the areas where the leader comes from. And this is what is happening. So our leaders are very comfortable with that kind of ethnic and sectional solidarity they enjoy within our people. For example, in the north today, when Jonathan was in power and you support him, they are bound to call you an infidel. But now they cannot call you an infidel because Tinubu is a Muslim. The only thing they say they are anti-North. Most of the issues they are raising up today in the North has happened when our own was in power. At a certain point in time, all the security apparatus of the state were all headed by Northerners. DGSSS was Northerner. DG NIA was another. Chief of Army Staff, Chief of Defense Staff, Chief of Naval Staff, Chief of Staff were all another. Head of Custom, Head of Immigration, Head of National Security and Defense Service were all another. Even Head of Fire Service were all from no part of Nigeria. Has this solved the problem of security? It has solved the problem of security. So we have that ethnic, sectional solidarity for leaders who are in power to the detriment. So I do not share the belief that it's only on the basis that when your man is in power, all your problem will be solved. So to me, what I'm saying is that if Nigerians want a leadership, I differ from what he's saying. Practically, politically, he's speaking the truth. Sure, he doesn't have money to settle it. But you ask yourself, what happened in Senegal here? The guy who was there, who is almost in his late 30s and early 40s, does he have money? He doesn't have money. If you say it's people that vote, why should people be asking for money for them to vote for somebody to be?
But Senator,
if they are suffering,
if the playing field is not level,
hold on,
because you gave us an example here where you said this president is not Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. That Goodluck Ebele Jonathan appointed an INEC chairman that he did not know. So if you have a president today who has appointed an INEC chairman that he knows, and given some of the moves that we have seen, it would appear like they are using the instrumentality of the state to supplant the opposition. This your Senegal example might not be a very good example to use here.
No, let me tell you one thing. If you think you sit down and power will just look at you and it slips away from their hands, it's something that never happens anymore. Hold on. I'm coming here. You want to contest election.
Free and fair election.
Free and fair election.
Yes.
I think you want to go to ADC, right? For example, right?
Okay.
Okay. The form for ADC is not going to be 1,000 naira.
Millions.
It's going to be millions of naira. The form for APC is still millions of naira. The escorts of political parties, ideally, if you want to be the chairman of your ward, you collect form, you fill it, you contest, and then you won. No political party conduct election for ESCO. They are allocated. If they're going to be 25 members of ward ESCO, they say you bring two, you bring two, you bring two. That's how it's done in ruling party, it's done in opposition parties. So I want to tell you that there are certain rituals that are the same. And again, you can't be a candidate. If you are from River State, under ADC, your loyalty will be to who is Amechi, and how does democracy come into being in that place? If you are from Kano State, you are from ADC. It's whether Kwankwaso has approved you or he has not approved you. So I want you to tell me, how does that differ from what the ruling party is doing? So you can't raise off from nowhere. The choices you have are two. If you want to be in a major political party, you have to battle the warlords there. And if you want to be in a small political party, resources will bring you down.
Yes. I differ a little bit with what the distinguished said about Peter. Everybody knows my stand with Peter, but I don't feel that the majority of people that support him are
because he won in Cross River, Nasarawa, Plateau, Lagos, Abuja.
I don't think the majority of them are doing it because they are tribalistic. Yes, there are a lot of tribalistic people supporting him, a lot of bigots supporting him. Him himself is a bigot. I've said it, and multiple times. He himself he has shown elements of bigotry, both religious and otherwise. You know, again, I think that some of his supporters are tribalistic, and they demonstrate a lot of bigotry, a lot of hate, and a lot of political extremism as well, because they don't respect the political choices and freedom of other Nigerians. However, I believe the majority of his supporters are just frustrated people from the spill-off of NSAS and other frustrated Nigerians who are frustrated with this skewed political structure that Distinguished has said, where people just sit down, allocate offices to other people. So they're just tired, frustrated people that, man, we can't continue like this. I'm also tired. I'm frustrated. If I hadn't seen through the man's bullshit, I'll probably even be an obedient. I would have joined them. Again, if not for some of their toxicity and the insults and unwanted dragging of people and trying to suppress people's rights and all that. So, but I see their pain. Unfortunately, where I will agree with Distinguished about that, it's impossible to galvanize that momentum of 2014, 2015. Right? It's impossible. And that's why I told the president that the president must allow opposition to thrive in the country. Is that I agree that the president is going to win re-election. Anybody who understands politics, we've been around for a while. Anybody who is still telling you that, oh, the president will not win re-election, it's like when we were contesting for SUG those days. We know we're going to lose, but the way we'll be shouting, we'll be raising our voice. Even the night of the election, we're already discussing with our cabinet that, we don't lose this election. No. But we will never voice it out. We must show courage till results are announced. Even when results are being announced, we'll find another excuse. We say we won the election, but it was manipulated. And some people even do it. You know, whenever somebody passes in school, they say, oh, I passed. But when they fail, they say, they gave me. They gave me. They say, they gave me C. They gave me. So politicians are masters at encouraging themselves. And again, you know, there's always one man about one pastor somewhere that has told them that you are the next president. So they are always deluded, but their supporters are the worst. Because their supporters are worse than them. Because they brainwash themselves that we are winning this election.
Sorry, please.
I picked two things. Sorry, before I picked two things, right? That I wanted to ask you a question earlier, but then I picked another one. Shore was here earlier, and he said that if the election was free and fair, that Tinubu can never beat him. That's one question. What do you think about that? And the second question
another wicked laugh.
Another question that I also want to ask you is, from what the distinguished senator has said here about the ethnicity and, you know, do you think Nigeria has any business being together?
You see, I'm one of those Nigerians that even my worst critic knows that I say the truth. My worst critic. Because I will look you to your face and tell you that this thing you are saying is a lie.
Which are you answering now?
Now, I'm asking the question that you said Shawari answered. That if elections were free and fair, that he would defeat Tinubu hands down. It's not possible. That one is not possible.
That's your guy.
He's my guy. My personal Egbon is not possible. Jagaban. This Jagaban, he knows how to run with it, snatch it, grab it. It's not possible.
In a free and fair
election. Even in a free and fair, he will still grab it.
No,
I'm going to still, I will hit the nail. Even in a free and fair, he will still grab it. In free and fair. Because you see why? Nigerians are cursed with the love of money. This free and fair will come with bag of rice. Nobody can stop Nigerians from collecting rice. No, but except if maybe there's a spiritual decree that if you collect rice, you will die. So Shiwara does not have rice to give anyone. So he can never, even in a dream, defeat President Tinubu.
With what the distinguished senator said about ethnicity and everything, do you think Nigeria has any business being together?
See, and this is why I was with Nnamdi Kanu at the Sokoto Correctional Prison. I went to see him about 2 weeks ago. We had a lengthy conversation for like 2 hours. Of course, you know, I've disagreed with him in the past. But I don't think it's justifiable for him to have been jailed.
Why?
He didn't physically kill anyone. Even the things that were imputed to say he has done, he didn't do them. You can't blame him. We were the one that started NSAS. How can you say that Nnamdi Kanu was responsible for what happened during NSAS? Thugs were on rampage during NSAS. He didn't send anybody to do anything. Basically, he's talking about this marriage does not favor us. And if the marriage does not favor us, let's do a referendum. He may even lose in his compound if your referendum is... Because this idea, I think the reason why some of these questions keep coming up is because we keep shying away from it. Let's confront our fears. Let's face our fears. And let us decide if whether through a sovereign national conference or whatever modus operandi we want to use, let's confront our fears and say, oh, if we do a referendum and we vote, even the United Kingdom at a point left the EU. Do you understand? Whenever you're forcing somebody to stay in a marriage, it may be death that will happen. When you start, the person says, I'm tired of marriage. You say, no, you must stay in this marriage. You must.
For better, for worse.
Yeah, and again, yes, I'm a Pan-Nigerian and also a Pan-African. I love the fact that I'm able to travel the length and breadth of this country to see my Igbo brothers, my Hausa brother, my Yoruba brothers. I love it because in Nigeria is so beautiful. The camaraderie, the love. Yes, we may have our differences, but we are loving people. Do you understand? We are loving people. So I love the idea. And it breaks my heart when I hear anybody talk about this kind of conversations. It breaks my heart. However, there are people that feel this way. We must listen to them. We must not hound them. We must not shut them up. We must hear their genuine grievances and complaints. See, people say, I'm very critical. I'm combative. I'm this. Is it not Peter I was just defending just now? And I defended him ideological. Look at all the things I've said against the Tinubu government today. But I will be sounding like ADC member if I will say that there's no good thing that has been done in this government, or there's nobody in the government that has done anything.
What are the good things that this government has done?
Now that's a trap. That's a trap question.
Answer it.
Answer it. What are the good things this APC government has done, Comrade Deji?
Well, for instance, let me take.
You need water.
No, I don't need water. For instance, let me take this issue of law practice that we've been doing. So, under the Buhari government, a lot of people were arrested on the basis that they are members of IPOB, innocent people. In fact, there's one of our clients, Mrs. Ifedi, who died at the Wawa barracks. She and her husband were arrested in their restaurant. The only reason that they were arrested under the Buhari government was that IPOB people used to come there and do meeting. They arrested everybody, including the woman. I became aware of this matter over a year ago. And I got actively involved. I engaged the DSS. I was aggressively there for weeks until I met the DG. We did several letters of appeal. We wanted to get both husband and wife out of that place because a lot of people die in that place. That place is the Guantanamo Bay of Africa. Thousands of Nigerians are in that place. And in fact, there are outbreaks there. People die there. A lot of innocent people die in that place. So it took the intervention of the DG DSS to say, look into this matter. DG has been on my case on this matter. And they indulge us. Do you know that finally, when we were told that the woman has died, but the husband is alive, we said, we want the husband out now. The DG was gracious enough. They brought the husband from our barrack and they released the husband. And I can tell you that from that time to today, more than 100 people, we've been able to release more than 100 people from our barrack. So will I not say that something good has not been done by the government? And we are still pursuing several other people who are being kept in that place. In fact, that place must be shut down because that place violates the fundamental rights of several Nigerians. Additionally, the law of karma played its role under this government. Malami and El-Rufai, were they not arrested by EFCC? You remember Malami, the almighty Malami? And it is also a warning to the people who are currently in this government who are perpetrating injustice, who see themselves as larger than life, especially the anti-democratic elements who are trying to kill the opposition. The EFCC went after them. They are standing trial. Again, talking about EFCC, for a very long time, as long as I can remember, EFCC officials were dismissed for corruption. Several of them, I think almost 30 of them. Some of them are even in court. Do you understand? So, the government is bad, very bad. But it would be very, very unfair on my part not to highlight, because it will look as if I'm doing opposition, and I'm not a member of the opposition. I'm just a critic. I'm just unhappy with the way the system has been programmed in the country. Again, look at this issue of the passport issue. What do you call this, our passport again? Our international passport. Before, there was always backlog. But there has been some form of, I wouldn't say perfect speed, but
considerable progress.
Yes, considerable progress. And again, I also think that we should do the same for people that issue plate number.
VIO.
Those people, they are the most incompetent, because you are the one that say I should say something. They are one of the most incompetent people in this government. You apply for a plate number, it takes months now. They tell you that they don't have plate number to print. This one happened to me myself. They tell you that they don't have plate numbers to print. Where are they printing the plate numbers for? I think this was the same thing that they were doing with their passports. They were holding the thing to make money. So they now create an avenue for bribe and all that. So you now pay that if you want to do it quick, fast track. So they need to look into that place. Look at Yes and Wike. Everybody knows that I'm always at loggerheads with him. The road in Abuja, that Apokarishi road, that road has been under construction for 10 years. About 10 years. Go and look at the speed of light with which the guy is almost done with that work.
But this team just collapsed the other day.
No, that is the point. That is the point I want to get to. That is not to tell you that those projects that he's doing, he must have inflated them by 10 times the price. Look at what he did in the ICC. Look at the ICC. Look at how much he said he did the ICC. I went to the ICC. It was painted. Even the chairs, they were resewn. I saw double sewing on the chairs. But you see, the Apokarishi Road, I have publicly commended him. The fact that I criticize him does not mean that I will see something negative, positive, and not say it.
All right, interesting. So let's talk about accountability now so that we can make progress. I raised you this flyer from the build-up to 2015. Generate, transmit, and distribute electricity on a 24/7 basis. That is change. Vote Buhari Osibajo. That was in 2015. Now, I'll play this video from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and I would like to hear your reaction.
Whichever way, by all means necessary, you must have electricity. A promise made will be a promise kept. If I can't keep the promise and I come back for second term, don't vote for me.
Should Nigerians hold Mr. President to his promise?
Yes, of course they should. They should.
But he said they should not vote for him.
Well, he has already been able to make at least, he has addressed problems maybe by 30%. So if you vote for him, the 70 will be.
How do you mean he has addressed the problem? Moving from the national grid to solar in the Aso Villa, or you say he has been able to address the problem?
Maybe there's light in the single senator's house. Maybe he has seen light.
Well, to me, you see, politicians make campaign promises, actually. And I don't know of any politician in the world that has been able to fulfill all his campaign, even in advanced countries. But the question is that from where are you and what progress have you been able to make? And governance is a continuity. What you've been able to achieve, you build on it and then you move on. When people are, it is a law of politics. When people are angling for power, you become a miracle worker and a person who can do a lot of magic to address the problem. But the moment you get into it, then it's like the same thing that happened with Buhari administration. He said he never knew that things were tough to that level. Our people from our part of the country, before Buhari became president, they thought he had a solution to every problem. He will address the problem of light, of roads, of poverty, of underdevelopment, of illiteracy in the whole parts of the country, particularly in the north. But they come to realize after 8 years that it never happened. So, but there are progress that has been made. No matter how you are critical of someone, just like he said, you can see that steps have actually been taken. For example, now, some of the achievements which may not be visible for everyone is the foreign reserve. It has gone higher. We have seen the creation of a developmental commission in all the geopolitical zones. These are all things that are there. And despite the fact that there are governors who has issues not be able to perform, but there are states you go there, you see physical projects on the ground that they have been able to do it. But if Nigerians don't see that as satisfactory, they have the right to think of another leadership. But the ones who have actually provided themselves can't do anything different. And I'm of the school of thought that Tinubu will win the 2027 elections. I have no doubt about it. As far as my state is concerned, Kaduna State, I know that he's going to win the elections. So in that respect, what we should look out to is that we should continue to take every position of authority very seriously. People are only interested in who becomes the president. You hardly see interest in who becomes senators and members of reps. After we have had, if you have a president that you don't like, it's then that you shift your interest to the senators that you never had interest in for whoever they are. Whatever the president does has to get the endorsement of the National Assembly. So that is why I said, if you can't be president, at least go back to your constituency, try and run for office, either a councillor, local government chairman, or whatever. I know that resources is a serious challenge. But if people are actually suffering, if people want change, they shouldn't have been able to see resources to be given to them as an obstacle. They should be able to vote for whoever they feel that can transform their lives. That's my view on that.
Sir, you mentioned something and I picked it. You said governance is continuity.
Yeah.
If you say governance is continuity, are you of the school of thought that 8 years is not enough for a change? Are you of the school of thought that changing presidents and changing governors just disrupts the whole process of growth?
You see, we are a multi-religious, multi-ethnic state. When I read on social media, people are calling for disintegration, for disunity, and people will say that Nigeria was a mistake, a Lord contraption. I think what we refuse to do is to do a lot of research. There is no African country, apart from Egypt and Ethiopia, that were not colonial contraptions. All the borders and boundaries you see were products of Berlin Conference. The people of northern Ghana and southern Ghana are not the same. The people of northern Mali and southern Mali are not the same. And these are issues. So you look at the problems of your country and you have to, there is no period in the life of any human being and any nation that you say there is no crisis. China, that we are all looking about, they have a Tibet problem. Tibet want to secede from China. They have a Taiwanese problem. It is there. If you go to United Kingdom, Scotland want to pull out of it. And we forgot that each time we talk of civil war in Nigeria between the Biafra and the rest part, it happened in the United States. There was a civil war between the northern part of the United States and the southern part of the United States. So you can't continue to harp on the situation of your birth as the reason for underdevelopment. If colonialism and the fact that we are brought together was the reason why we cannot develop. You ask, why is Malaysia developed? They were colonized by United Kingdom.
Singapore.
Why is Singapore developed? They were colonized by United Kingdom. And then you ask yourself, why has such things happened? Malaysia and Singapore used to be one country. And when they divided into two, all the two sides are all developed. In Sudan, they used to be one country. When they divided into two, both the north and the south are in crisis. So the point is that...
To answer my question on the continuity, like long-term governance.
No, you can't say that if someone has failed to do what needs to be done, the people should take their own destiny in their hands. But the fact is that we have a society. That's when people are saying that the North people are poor and the South. If you give rights to people in the South, they'll still vote for it. It has happened in Anambra. It has happened in other states where food and other things are being shared to people.
But you know that, sir. But you know that
Kaduna
people
too.
will say
during the by-election they bought votes for 500 naira.
No, we don't give money.
Sir, what led me to the question that I asked, which I haven't also gotten clarity, is that people say that the job cannot be done in a short period of 4 years or 8 years. If people stayed longer, they would be able to achieve more than cutting it short within 4 years or 8 years.
If you know people, 4 years or 8 years, the next question that should follow that is that if Tinubu succeed now, will he do life president? I think you want to ask if he succeed with this one party
you have been talking about how all our leaders play the same game.
Yes.
Now, for someone who wants to play a different game, do you think there is space and opportunity for that? Or the way politics is already structured, and if you come in, you just have to do
you become a bad person.
Way that we are doing
bad person and join them.
You see. Let me tell you how this thing works here. You don't have one politician that you will look at and say that is accepted in all parts of the country. Today, Nnamdi Azikiwe name is in the Abuja International Airport. He is the only national figure in history of Nigeria that you will use his name for an airport without controversy, because all others are perceived as regional leaders. He may not be the favorite of Southeast, but he has a towering personality, not just in Nigeria, but in the whole world, Nnamdi Azikiwe. So apart from him, each leader that emerges, you will see is, for example, you pick Peter Obi, and he is popular with the Gen Z, but not the northern Gen Zs. That is it. If you ask Konkoso, Konkoso is popular with the northern Gen Zs, but not with the southern Gen Zs. So when you look at it, when people like us have a different perspective of Tinubu from northern part of Nigeria, is that we have seen that most of the opposition that is coming from our place is not based on they are disappointed with security, performance, and whatever, but for the fact that simply they can tolerate more than that when our own was in power. And they can tolerate that when he is not, one word is there, he's not in power. So even if it is Peter Obi or anybody that comes from power, they will say no to it because he's not. But when our own was there, how many times in your own period have you seen Buhari visited areas where people were killed?
Interesting.
None. But if Tinubu didn't do that, it becomes an issue. Let me tell you what.
But he went to Jos. He said there was no light.
Yes, but he's been going to Maiduguri.
He's the one that didn't provide the light.
He's been going to Maiduguri. Now, let me tell you this again. If you look at it, Atiku is reportedly to have contracted a U.S. farm at $1.2 million.
Dollars. Where did he see the money?
Hold on. Let me say. You see, if it was Peter that does this, they'll say it's a Biafra agenda. But people in our own part were quiet about it. If it's Peter that hired a consultancy for $1.2 million, and that consultancy firm threatened INEC with sanction, what would be the reaction from other parts of the country?
But INEC is hiring protesters. INEC is...
maybe you're a lawyer, you have evidence of that. I don't know.
People carry INEC, say INEC must go, INEC must do this, must continue.
Comrade and distinguished senator, we are taking it home now. And I would like your response, if you try as much as you can to be as articulate as possible. Would appreciate
I want to respond to that question.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. Please respond to
whether the president, whether the president, Nigerians should take a cue from what he has said. Of course, Nigerians should listen to the president and refuse to vote for him for second time. He has not given us
You already said he will win.
Listen now, you've not allowed me to land.
Okay.
Nigerians should take a cue from the president and refuse to vote for him because he has not given us the power. But will Nigerians reject rice? Will Nigerians can Nigerians say no to rice? Okay, can Nigerians say no? That is the challenge. That's where the challenge is. And the distinguished senator knows that Nigerians cannot say no to rice. He knows. Because people sold their votes in Kaduna for 500 naira during the last by-election.
No, we didn't.
500 naira. People sold their votes.
He wasn't there. You are not there to monitor election.
Even that day, I messaged you that, and I told you that, why are people selling their vote for 500 naira in Kaduna? You say you don't know why they are selling. And in Anambra, they collected malt. Malt and gala. All right, so comrade and distinguished senator, final question, and I would want you to go in.
Yes.
Distinguished senator, there are people who say that your generation failed Nigeria. That you people were beneficiaries of free education, welfare, laundry, you ate ice cream, you ate full chicken. But that we have Gen Z today who are struggling. Some people buy an iPad and they come out to celebrate.
Okay, let me ask you. Let me tell you this. I believe this is the last opportunity for me to speak.
Yes.
Yeah, and I will speak like I do, but academically and philosophically. Most of the people you see today in power, either as governors, as senators, as ministers, were in their 20s and 30s in 1999. The difference between the young people of the 90s and the young people of today is that the young people of the 90s has vision. They have vision. The Oji Uzokalus, they position themselves for power. They register into a political party. They studied the mechanics of power, and then they took advantage of it and emerged as leaders. Now, you see a 40-year-old man, a 45-year-old man today, spend all his life on social media. He supports candidate, he doesn't aspire to be one. And if you will continue to spend all your lives in that aspect of it, you're not going to go anywhere. The issue of saying that you don't have money, you don't have this, you don't have that, you must prove in yourself. Every inch of Nigeria's political territory is controlled by a certain person. I don't know, we're here in Lekki. If you want to know who is in control of this Lekki, please print a poster and paste it around here and put a billboard. Within 24 hours, your billboard will be brought down. Not by the government.
The person
but somebody who will ask
area.
you, did you go and seek, did you consult
Approval.
with so-so person? You haven't. So those people who you asked, they had it better. They had
generation now.
I'm coming. We had a different vision of it. I started contesting election when I came out of prison in 1998, 99. Then I thought, what should I do? Will you continue with the activism? Yes. General Abdul Salam called us for a meeting here in Lagos. When he called us for a meeting, he told us that he's going to hand over power. What you people should go and, after years of aluta, go and get ready. When we sat down at that meeting, Gani Fahmi and others from the radical side said, we're not going to cooperate with the military. We're going to continue to fight. The aluta must continue. At that meeting, the Tinubu and some others said they have enough of fighting, that they want to go into political party and take over power. We, unlike the ANC that moved from a liberation movement to power, many of our comrades, the Falana, the Alisa Abakoba, the Chima Obani, and several others, we are just out of prison and we want to continue to fight. Before you know it, from 1999 to 1993,
Criminals hijacked.
all the criminals, they have took over all the positions. So when we realized that democracy is going to last, it was then Gani set up the NCP and contested in 2003. And he couldn't get more than 150,000 votes. And since then, many of those comrades who fought were decimated. Only very few were able to make it. To me, you have Kaide Fayemi became Ekiti governor. Olisa Abokoba tried to contest the presidency. Falana to trying to be governor of Ekiti State, couldn't do it because all the positions were all taken. So that was the mistake we did. The new generation, if they want things to be better, waiting for the solutions to come from somewhere, it's not going to work. If they can organize NSAS and NBAR governments with that energy, with that potency, with that strength, they should transform it into politics.
But
and
they
take
were
our state power.
sprayed at NSAS.
They were shot at. They were shot at.
And it's not money,
Look,
it's
let
bullets.
me tell you how this is. If you now print your poster, you want to be members of House of Assembly. So what will your opponent do? And say he will allow you to be?
So
Hold on, if you are a woman in my constituency and you want to contest member of House of Assembly, and I also want to be member of House of Assembly, and I know you're a woman, I'm trying to see what can I do to bring you down. I can bring the Islamic clerics to go after you. And then you're brought down.
So you should be in the kitchen.
If you are an evangelical, I can bring the Catholics to say they shouldn't support you. So the differences between that generation and this generation is that this generation are not cognizant of the fact that they need to take over political power.
But Senator, where is the accountability from your generation? In 1999, you were around 32.
Yes.
And if in fighting against General Sani Abacha, you were in your 20s.
Yes, of course.
The average 20-year-old in Nigeria today is struggling to survive. And it is as a result of consistency in failure of leadership.
Okay.
So if you exonerate your generation and say these young people, they are not serious, they are in the comment section, where is the accountability in your generation
but
for what you people did to this country?
Can you be more angrier than a person who went to prison?
The young people are very angry.
Hold on.
But it's your same generation that will come and say, calm down.
Hold on.
Yes.
Don't be hot-headed. Take things easy.
Look. You see, how do you, if I told you to go, I don't know which state are you from?
I'm from Enugu State.
Enugu State. Okay, Mba is there. What stops you from going to your ward to register, contest election, and transform your anger into power?
Are you saying this can be easily
hold on.
achieved?
Well, there is no easy way for you to be in power. You have to fight for it.
Grab it.
You have to struggle for it. You cannot just say because you are good, and then, okay, if you decide to contest election now, the first thing from your opponent is to search for where you are negative.
Sabotage,
and if there is no negative point, he will add more and invent some and put you on the head. Those who became governors in 1999 never had it easy. They fought for it. And you say you don't have money. The person who will fund you has to see the potential in you before he sponsors you.
All right, agreed, distinguished senator. So, comrade, I would allow you wrap and then we can.
Now, let me give my own take on that question. Number one, I want to absolve their generation.
You want to absolve their generation?
Of any blame.
They have no blame.
They have no blame. Because if they have blame, they should also have blame the generation before them.
But they were fighting against the military that was before them.
But it was generation before us.
Then the generation of the military should also have blamed the generation before them.
Yes.
So that the blame game can continue. When will the blame game stop?
Hey.
We must find a solution to our problems in the immediate, in the interim, and in the long run. The problem of this generation is that here we are with people who are sitting down on the floor, permanently on the floor. They don't want to get up. They don't want to do anything. They believe that nothing can be done. So they keep sitting on the floor. And as long as you're on the floor, you will never move forward. For you to move forward in life, you must get up. You must confront your fears. Today, I have no interest in politics. But if I want to be political, I have empowered myself in such a way that I have the resources to grab it, to snatch it, and run with it.
Like Jagaban.
Yes. I have empowered myself. I have the resources to grab it, to run with it, and to snatch it. But I'm not that kind of a person. So our problem of this generation is that go and look at all the young people. They are naked on Instagram. They are naked on TikTok. They are all naked. Just go and look at them. The guys are all doing Yahoo, defrauding people. Go to EFCC. Just go. I was in EFCC yesterday. Just go to EFCC. Go and see young people, 16, 15, 17, 18. They are all suspects in EFCC, destroying their lives, destroying the lives of other people. Have you not seen the latest reports on how people are just spreading HIV all over town?
Jesus.
Have you not seen the latest
They are
reports?
sharing it.
Yes. Look at, during our time, this was 20-something years ago when we were young, when we would say we are young, because and now look at me, I'm 50. Look at me, very close to 50.
Good man, OG.
Do you understand? During our time, for you to see the nakedness of a girl,
You work hard.
you have to work minimum 8 months before you can go to TikTok. Almost all Nigerian girls are naked.
It's not just nakedness, red lights.
Yeah, see, so look at the generation. Look at the generation that wants to challenge his generation. Is it possible?
Hi.
Then again, look at the other unfortunate members of this generation. They are the supporters of Tinubu, Atiku, Obi, Kwankwaso, Rotimi Amechi. They don't see themselves beyond that. They don't see themselves like me. If I have a one-on-one with any of these 5 scammers, if I converse with them, they will know that this guy is on another level. Because I will be talking to them like equals. These guys, all they believe they are ever good for in life is carrying bag, saying yes, sir. Listen, politics is not a job. Anybody that takes politics as a job and as a profession will perpetually be in servitude, will perpetually be jobless. And this is why I've been agitating for years, that we must stop paying politicians. That until we stop paying politicians, that's when Nigeria will ever move forward. Because it is because people see politics as a job. That's why you see all this sycophancy and all this decadence everywhere. As long as we continue to pay people and incentivize politics, we'll continue to have people in the comment section insulting people over Tinubu, insulting people over Peter Obi, insulting people over Atiku. You will continue. Again, look at it. I didn't just get here today. I didn't just get here. I can tell you that in 2012, I was living in Apori Settlement, my own house. And I used to have 7 of my staff live with me in my own house. And it was a 3-bedroom. And I can tell you for a fact, I can mention all their names. Theo, Boma, Brian, Ochinawata, all my 7 staffs, they used to live in my house. In fact, they used to finish 1 bag of rice in 2 months. And there will be bag of beans. So there must be process to growth. Young people nowadays, open breast, no job anywhere. Just open chest on TikTok and Instagram. Hello, I'm a body.
Clock it.
If you don't create, comrade, if you don't create an enabling environment where these young people can thrive. If you destroy our educational sector.
Who created the enabling environment for me?
If you undermine, so you are looking at your own struggle story and comparing it to the situation. You are talking about
there used to be a time. Listen,
there used to be ate free food.
Listen,
they did his laundry. He ate ice cream.
There used to be a time.
Why are we jumping this time and calling your time?
Okay, let me answer that question.
Yes.
There used to be a time when I get 100,000, it was like a miracle.
Yeah.
A prayer answer. Right, yeah. So young people must build a life. Every eagle was once an eaglet. And you need to grow your own wings by yourself.
Are you giving them something to build from?
Listen, nobody.
Life is already handicapped for them.
Listen, this is why I say we need to stop the blame game.
Okay.
See, we must take responsibility as citizens. If our leaders have refused to take responsibility, we must. There used to be a time that the basic things of life used to be like luxury to me. Again, I had to starve myself. I had to be disciplined to know that even when I started getting comfort, I had to tell myself that I must not eat my future today. Because if I eat the future today, there will be no future tomorrow. You see young people, somebody who does not have a job is renting a 20 million naira house in Lekki. Does not have a job. They believe that the freebies will always be there. Freebies are not sustainable. You must find a job. If you don't have a job, you must find a trade. Even if you are interested in politics, because Distinguished is agitating that, they should register in political party. That is not a job. You must still find a job. A proper job.
Like being a pastor.
Please.
These pastors and religious people, they are one of the greatest enemies of this country.
Thank you.
Islamic people. And these pastors, these Islamic teachers, and these religious people, because the reason why I said that is because God does not bless your seed. Anybody that is not working cannot be prosperous.
All right, comrade.
But these people have convinced citizens that just bring a seed. Just bring a seed. Don't bring something to God. And God will bless you.
All right, comrade, thank you so much.
It doesn't work. That is scam.
Comrade, thank you so much for your time. Distinguished Senator, thank you so much for your time. For also conversing with us without emotions and bias, and for expressing yourself. For young people who have seen this episode, Google would also help to serve you. The distinguished senator has paid his dues. I don't do plus or minus of his age. There are people in the prison when General Sani Abacha be head of state. So you would know that when he says young people should be actively involved, he has lived that life. Comrade, thank you for all that you do. We hope there are more people who are in incarceration. Using the good work you do, you can get as many people out.
Pro bono.
Yes, pro bono. A round of applause.
We also need big and paying clients so that we can service the pro bono.
A round of applause. Big and paying client, please come so that they can service pro bono.